Hello and welcome to the daily newscast within the United Countries special by First Ukraine. You can find us at the frequencies available at our website firstua.com. I'm Sergey Velichanskiy and thank you for joining us. Where is the plane? The Ukrainian rescue plane with evacuated people from Nepal disaster on board landed in Baku several hours ago. It was confirmed to First Ukraine by the Ukrainian Ministry of Foreign Affairs. More details were shared by Roman Yurchila, the spokesman of Ukraine Air Forces. Il-76 flew from Delhi to the capital of Azerbaijan with 76 Ukrainians and 11 foreign citizens on board. The plane is up for checkup and refueling, and the pilots will have some rest. After this, the Kiev-bound flight flies home. The scheduled arrival time is approximately 3 o'clock in the morning.
The technical conditions of the plane are normal. The air crew refuels the plane and prepares it for the takeoff. The layover is planned to be no more than 12 hours, as instructed. Besides, the crew members need to have no less than 8 hours of rest. After that, the plane will fly to Boryspil airport.
Death toll due to Nepal earthquake rises above 7,600 people. These are the recent official figures. About the same number of people is missing. The mobile telecommunication network is down in the country and thousands of people can't communicate with their loved ones. The rescue operation is still on the go. No live survivors are found under the ruins anymore. The earthquake took place in the morning on April 25th near Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Tremors were repeated for several days. Last night, it was especially tense in the ATO zone in Opytne and Pisky settlements near Donetsk. It was reported by the ATO headquarters. Militants fired Ukrainian positions repeatedly with artillery and mortars. The soldiers of Kyiv 1 Battalion who defend Pisky have downloaded photos after yesterday's attack. The buildings in the village have no roofs and windows. The shellfire attack was done from the area of Yasenovata and Spartak villages, and militants regularly collected their strike. This information was provided by the Informed Resistance Group. The terrorists have used heavy artillery in the area of Shirokine settlement. The ATO headquarters informed that the militants shell-fired at such villages as Avdiivka, Severne, Granitne, Kirove and Vodyane. Over in the Luhansk area, Stanitsa Luhanska was attacked by shell-fire with the use of mortars and the anti-aircraft guns.
The criminals have shell-fired residential settlements again. Starting at 10:30 p.m. till 10:50 p.m., there was a fire attack on eastern side of Chermalik settlement, and from 11 p.m. to 11:30 p.m., the militants fired 10 shells from 82mm mortar in the direction of Leninsky town. During this time, south of Donetsk Oblast, our troops have recorded 12 unmanned aircrafts.
The coordinator of the Informational Resistance Group, Dmytro Tymchuk, wrote on his Facebook page that Russian terroristic troops are building up powerful forces in the direction of Mariupol. The insurgents have relocated up to 3,000 men and combat vehicles into Novoazovsk area. Besides this, 2 military convoys with tanks and infantry combat vehicles have arrived to Inakieva and Horlivka. The militants are strengthening their positions in the Luhansk region as well. In the past 24 hours, 3 Grads and a squad of combatants have been sent into Vesela Hora area, and as well as tanks and infantry combat vehicles into Pervomaisk. Six Ukrainian soldiers died yesterday in the areas of Avdiivka and Horlivka in the Donetsk region. A volunteer, Alexander Rudomanov, shared with First Ukraine News.
As far as I know, it were soldiers from the 1st Battalion of 95th Brigade that blew up. I was told this news by another volunteer. Some men have survived, but the rest died. 2 others died in a combat. They were from 30th Brigade.
This information was clarified by Andrei Lysenko, the President administration spokesman in the ATO affairs.
In the past 24 hours, we lost 5 men and 12 were injured as a result of combats. The biggest loss was in the Avdiivka area, where our combat vehicle hit a mine.
Nadia Savchenko was brought to a Basmansky court in Moscow. It was tweeted by the member of Batkivshchina party, Alexei Ryabchin. He arrived to the court session. Quote, "Nadia is brought to court surrounded by guards and dogs. She passed through us in 2 seconds, but she still heard our Glory to Heroes slogan." The end of the quote. The session started 1 hour late. The Ukrainian pilot advocates have expressed a motion for recusal of the judge due to his personal disfavor, since the Parliamentary Assembly of Council of Europe had criticized his actions. Savchenko supported the motion. Today, there are 2 sessions regarding Savchenko case in Moscow. One has to do with the defense complaint against the refusal to allow Nadia to go to the Parliamentary Assembly of Council of Europe, and another has to do with prolongation of her arrest till November 13. OSCE has blamed Russia in her support of separatists in Donbass. Isabel Santos, the representative of the organization, said that besides the search of the political solutions, we need to help to solve humanitarian crisis.
The continuation of Russian support of the separatists keep war and lawlessness alive and influences all the people in the region. This is a humanitarian crisis which must be overcome here and now. It has to be solved politically, but the needs of the people are the highest priority.
Russia demands to postpone the implementation of the trade paragraph in the association agreement between Ukraine and European Union. It was announced in Brussels by Volodymyr Chizhov, the Russian Federation ambassador to European Union. Earlier, Moscow had successfully postponed the agreement till the year of 2016. There is one-sided trade benefit regime between Ukraine and EU at this time. Ukrainian goods are being exported to the European Union without dues. On the other hand, the import is imposed with duty. An auto rally in the ATO zone dedicated to the victory anniversary today has arrived to Krasnoarmeysk. The convoy of combat vehicles of the Second World War times came from Kramatorsk. Our journalist Victoria Plastun has witnessed how this convoy was met by the residents.
A boy and a girl were riding there, and a boy on a motorcycle. They were waving with their hands. Andriy shares how motorcycles entered the town. Angelinka was impressed with them as well. Her mom says that the girl has never seen combat vehicles since the family left Kramatorsk as soon as the combat started. It was war then, and there is war now. We are scared for our children. We really want peace and no shooting. Yes, baby. These women did not leave the town as they say they want to be side by side with soldiers. Our soldiers helped us. We feed them. We knit nets. They taught us to be patriots. Yevhen waited for his turn and sits on a motorcycle and talks with the driver. And Roman expresses his sorrow that nowadays there is no transportation like this in the army. It was used for reconnaissance and for the radio connection and for other needs, because it's quite fast. While boys are studying motorcycles, the other residents are listening to a concert. Patriotic songs are sounding and the hits of the Second World War as well. The convoy hits the road. Retro vehicles plan to visit Krasnoarmeysk and Zelene Pole and May 7 into Volnovakha. Victoria Plastun, Artem Ukrainets, Sergey Velichanskiy, First Ukraine.
It was the United Country newscast by First Ukraine. You can find more details at our website, firstua.com. Sergey Velichanskiy was working for you in the studio. We wish you only good news. Take care and goodbye.